is more difficult as a trans person. I can't get anybody to take me seriously. I present a business venture idea and they just kind of turn it away. Right, and had I grown up in a childhood where either had they allowed me to transition, that one I might have, because one of my big things when I discovered what being transgender was I started looking back at my childhood and thinking, well, damn, if I was like Jazz Jennings and had been able to go on puberty blockers early enough, my body wouldn't have been destroyed by this testosterone and I'd be a beautiful feminine woman now. I wished so bad that I had the opportunity to transition early. Of course, now I don't, coming back. But then again, who knows if had I transitioned young, perhaps I would be perfectly happy with it now and stay transitioned, because my body wouldn't feel so manly. But I don't think that really played into my inability to pass. Did kind of play into my realizing that I needed to detransition, because I realized that I was living so uncomfortable in the world all the time. Every day I'm going out and feeling all this anxiety that people are looking at me funny. Life is more difficult as a trans person. I can't get anybody to take me seriously. I present a business venture idea and they just kind of turn it away like, yeah, because I guess I was seen as lesser. And who knows, if I had started young and was able to pass at this point, perhaps it might still feel right. But at the same time, I recognize all of our beliefs. The beliefs are about ourselves. Our perceptions of the world is formed by every experience we ever had up to this point.
Of course. Yeah, and thank you for entertaining me, I guess, with my hypotheticals. I just get curious, and I feel like a lot of people like to just discount detrans people, but in my opinion, you're just trans twice, which means you have twice as much wisdom, right? So anyways, side note, I would love to see a video of you talking to this person named Call Me Sam. He's another detrans individual who posts videos just talking about his life, his thoughts, and I think a conversation between you two would be super interesting.
Yeah.
But he's super hard to get a hold of. But maybe he would be more likely to talk to you than me. Anyways, sorry, not to detract from this conversation though. I also am curious, what was your life like, I guess? I know that you started driving a logging truck at 18, right? And then you just did that for 30 years, or
So I drove logging truck when I was 18 till 19. Then I went on a mission for the Mormon Church from 19 to 22. That was the year 2000 to 2002. And then when I came home from my mission, I went back to driving my logging truck for a year. And then in 2003, I went to my helicopter flight school, went back to it when I was 23. And then did that till 2005, got my commercial helicopter pilot's license in 2005 at 25, but then realized I couldn't get a job flying because I didn't have enough flight hours, and it was going to cost way too much to build up the flight hours, so I decided just to go back to driving my truck. Realized driving a truck was basically the same thing as flying a helicopter, but you're on the ground. I had an opportunity to work with helicopters while I was getting my license and discovered that all they do is just fly back and forth all day long, and I thought this isn't actually as exciting as I originally thought it was going to be, so I decided to go back to driving my truck. Then drove my truck for 2005 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 2013 I moved up to Oregon and kept driving my truck, but then in 2014 I decided to stop and work for my dad's business, which is still in the trucking industry but a different way. I no longer drive trucks, but I work on truck accidents, compiling reports to law firms, telling them who was at fault and why. It's
interesting.
a fascinating job. I get exposed to every possible way of dying on the highway you could possibly think of.
I bet that's terrifying when you're driving around, or your wife is driving around, and
Yeah.
that's all you think about is all these accidents you've seen.
Because I know too well how easy these things happen. And I see it all the time, and I get all the videos and pictures of blood and guts all over the road, and it disturbs me, and you can't unsee that stuff, so it really affects my emotional state doing this job.
Yeah.
I'd rather be doing something else where I'm actually helping people rather than, well, I'm kind of helping the victims of the accident to get insurance money, but it's just not the best. Someone else can do that.
Yeah. Is that kind of what you're trying to do with your YouTube? is like become like a spiritual teacher, help people, like give advice, or just be like a content creator basically?
Yeah, it has been my dream for a long time to do things like make documentaries, things
Really?
that really speak to people, tell people stories. But my wife and I, yeah, we're trying to build business right now where we coach couples through their relationship issues. And having gone through the whole trans marriage thing, it gives us understanding and knowledge and wisdom of dynamics between couples that normally you wouldn't even be aware of is going on. But also my wife and I are very trauma informed, and we understand human psychology and what forms people to be who they are. So it really plays into helping people in their relationship to understand what childhood parts are coming up in an argument, and that it's not actually about what's going on between you right now. It's your two
It's about what's
childhood.
going on in here and there.